is absolutely right. Mark, you are a local person. Could you talk about the tangible things that the voters of Blackpool South need, the needs that are needed there to change things on the ground? We can lead into the fact of why voters should get out and vote, why they should actually vote for you. What are the people of Blackpool South needing and looking for right now?
They need somebody to fight for them. They need somebody to be their voice. What's happened is Blackpool has been run by both parties, the Conservatives and the Labour Party, over the last 38 years. They've invested nothing into our side of the town. All of the money that's been invested has been invested in the town centre. Over £1 billion has been spent on vanity projects in the town centre. Nothing's been spent on Blackpool South. And Blackpool South is the area where all the tourists, all of the main tourist attractions are. We've got the tower and all the piers, the pleasure beach. I mean, we get a lot of tourists coming to Blackpool, and it seems like the council are only focused on helping the tourists. I mean, look, it's very important for us to have a tourist industry, and we do need to help the tourist trade. But what about the people of the town? What about the people who are suffering? We've got a 10-year less than the national average life expectancy here in Blackpool South. I think it's one of the worst anywhere in Europe.
Wow. When you talk about the less than 10-year life expectancy, what are the reasons for that? Can you point to what are the reasons for that?
The main reason would be neglect,
Right.
total neglect. And we have properties that are dilapidated, that we need to invest in good housing, affordable housing. There's no way for people to get on the property ladder. Our season ends. There's no jobs locally at the end of the season, so we have a season that finishes in November, and it doesn't open again till Easter. So people are, they don't have jobs. There's no housing. And, we've been totally let down by the government and by the local councils that have been here for the last 40 years.
So if you quite rightly say your season then ends in November, your season then kicks off until Easter. So you're then saying, what are people doing for 5 months? So in the past, as we look at Blackpool South, Blackpool on the coast, you've talked about the tourist industry. As we're looking at the map to the right hand side of that, what industries have gone? What jobs were there in Blackpool South? What did people used to do? And what jobs have actually left the area?
Well, we used to create things, didn't we? We used to make things. We don't make anything anymore. We had a local car factory, TVR, one of the best cars, I would say in the world. And TVR was one of the famous factories where people worked and enjoyed working for a reputable car maker. They left town. We've had a local company called B&M Bargains. They employed 1,500 people. They've left town. They've moved to Liverpool. The council aren't offering any incentives for these big companies to be here. I mean, if you look at we need to figure out something for Blackpool that can keep us going all year round. But if you look at what's going on in the music industry, for example, it's like London has got the monopoly on its West and South London. They've got the monopoly on filmmaking and the music industry. But if you look, Blackpool has got a tradition from the 60s and 70s. The Beatles came here. We used to have some of the big stars coming to Blackpool, but it's almost been taken away from us. It's like everything's gone down to London. There is a north-south divide. And what I'd like to see is a film studio built in Blackpool. Invest some of the £1 billion that they've got left to spend on a film studio, and that